Hello students. Today we are going to learn lesson number 18, Indian National Movement. The revolt of 1857 failed. However, it initiated the beginning of the struggle for freedom. For the first time, the people of India became united despite their religious and caste differences to fight against the British rule. India saw some remarkable changes under the British Crown. Railroads were established. English language was introduced in schools and colleges. Modern thoughts and outlook developed. This phase of the late 19th century is often referred to as the Age of Revival in India, a period of cultural and intellectual awakening. Reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, and Swami Vivekananda led the movement to root out the social evils from Indian society. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar raised questions about early marriage, having more than one wife, widowhood, and many other stifling social developments. Widows suffered a lot in society at that time. Vidyasagar got widow remarriage legalized. He worked to get child marriage and polygamy restricted. He was also instrumental in founding dozens of schools, several of which were for girls. Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Brahmo Samaj. He tried to put an end to caste system, idol worship, and meaningless rituals of the orthodox Hindus through this Samaj. He put an end to the practice of sati. The practice of sati was really horrifying. A wife used to burn herself alive on the funeral of her husband and become a sati. Dayanand Saraswati founded the Arya Samaj in 1875. Through this organization, he tried to revive Hinduism on Vedic principles. He rejected caste system and idol worship. Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was a pupil of Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa, a priest at a Kali temple. He founded the Ramakrishna Mission and traveled all over India teaching people to seek knowledge. In 1885, the Indian National Congress was set up. With this, the first organized political movement in India started. Its first meeting was held in Bombay. Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendranath Banerjee, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and Badruddin Devji joined the Congress. The Indian National Congress, also called the INC, held sessions in different parts of India every year. They asked for employment of Indians in government services, goods to be made in India, and government to reduce the hike in taxes. Because of their peaceful mode of operation, these leaders were called moderates. However, a section in the INC felt that moderate waves would not serve the purpose of getting things done. These people were called the revolutionaries. The revolutionaries wanted immediate action against the British. Leaders like Lokmanya Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, also known as Lal, Bal, and Pal, belonged to this group and opposed the moderate policies of the INC. The growing nationalism was a matter of great concern for the British. Lord Curzon adopted the policy of divide and rule to create a rift between Hindus and Muslims. The British announced a plan to divide Bengal, the largest province in India, into two parts, one for the Muslims and the other for the Hindus. People opposed it. In August 1905, hundreds of Indians boycotted British goods. They made bonfires of these goods. This movement is called the Swadeshi movement. The Muslim League was formed in 1906. The mass boycott continued till the British were forced to call off the partition of Bengal in 1911. After the Swadeshi movement, Bal Gangadhar Tilak along with Annie Besant formed the Home Rule League. The objective of this league was to attain self government within the British Empire. Indians also fought the First World War as a part of the British Army, hoping to get their freedom as a reward. But this was too high an expectation from a devil like the British. The conditions of the people became even more pitiable as the Rowlatt Act was passed by the British government. According to this act, anyone could be arrested by the British government without a trial. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi arrived on the scene in 1915. Gandhiji spoke strongly against untouchability caste system. He taught the people about the importance and strength of non-violence. His means of peaceful non-cooperation against injustice and oppression is termed as satyagraha. The growing feeling of nationalism in the country had left the British restless now. They arrested many Indians and threw them in jails. On Baisakhi Day in 1919, thousands of Indians had assembled in Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar, to protest against the Rowlatt Act. General Dyer and his men stood at the gate and showered bullets on the unarmed crowd, killing thousands. This brutal massacre shocked the nation, and the entire world condemned the act. In 1921, the non-cooperational movement started nationwide. People left their jobs, colleges, and homes to join the struggle. However, the protest turned violent when an angry mob burned down a police station and 22 policemen died. This incident at Chora Chori in Uttar Pradesh forced Gandhiji to call off the movement and begin a fast unto death to protest against the violence and killing. Around this period, young leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and Sarojini Naidu became followers of Gandhiji. Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru also gave up their rich lifestyle and adopted a simple way of living. Sir Simon arrived in India in 1928. The Simon Commission wanted to turn down the anger of the people by granting them concessions. However, as there was not a single Indian in the commission, people called a nationwide boycott. They greeted the British with black flags and slogans like Simon Go Back. During a lathi charge in one such boycott, Lala Lajpat Rai lost his life. In protest, three revolutionaries, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, and Rajguru, killed a British officer. They were later hanged to death. The Indian National Congress gave a call for Purna Swaraj in 1929. Here, the government continued to subdue the Indians. They banned the making of salt and levied heavy taxes on salt. Gandhiji led another protest. He undertook a march from his ashram in Sabarmati at Ahmedabad to Dandi, where by the seashore he picked up a pinch of sea salt. Thousands of Indians participated in the Dandi March. This agitation, which defied the salt tax, was called the Civil Disobedience Movement. During the final phase of India's struggle for independence, Subhash Chandra Bose spearheaded the revolutionary freedom struggle. He believed in militant patriotism. He joined Congress and became the president of Congress. He soon quit Congress on a difference of opinion with Gandhiji and Nehru and launched an armed struggle. He was jailed in 1927 due to his aggressiveness. Later, he went overseas for help. With the support of Japan, he formed Indian National Army, that is Azad Hind Fauj, in 1941 and set up provisional government of Free India in exile. But World War II was at its peak and Japan had to call back its troops. The INA was defeated by the British and Bose escaped to Japan. On his way, he disappeared in a plane crash. Subhash Chandra Bose raised slogans like Jai Hind and Dilli Chalo. In 1942, Quit India was launched under the leadership of Gandhiji. British were asked to leave the country and go. The British refused. There were more boycotts and arrests. After the Second World War, the British government realized that they could not control India any longer. Hence, in 1945, the Shimla Conference gave provincial autonomy to India. Talks began for transferring power. In 1946, an interim government was formed which made a provision for a separate nation, Pakistan and India. In India, in 1947, the Governor General Lord Mountbatten declared India and Pakistan as two separate sovereign nations. On August 15, 1947, India became a free country. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India. Today, after more than 6 decades of independence, proud Indians still look back at the sacrifice of the freedom fighters and salute them with respect. This day is celebrated every year as the Independence Day. Thank you.